¿Qué pasó, Pack Nation? It is Pack here with some real, genuine, next generation news and actual gameplay of NBA 2K20 on the PlayStation 5. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to show you the graphics comparison, things that I noticed in it that are different than I expected, and things like that. Before this video starts though, leave a like because it'll help the channel out a lot more than you would realize. Okay, so I want to start us off with what happened. So basically, I was watching the PlayStation 5 event. You know, I was expecting it to only be like half an hour long. I was kind of in a rush, I had to go do something. Wasn't expecting much. I'm watching it, enjoying some games like Ratchet and Clank. They're showing some pretty cool footage, Spider-Man, all that stuff. I was hype. And then I see Zion dribbling a basketball. I was like, I'm sorry, what? I had zero expectation of them showing anything 2K related, and the fact that they showed me actual gameplay of Zion Williamson of NBA 2K21 on the next generation in 4K blew my mind. So I'm here to give you the graphics comparison, what I think about it. Is it better? Is it barely any better? Or is it worse? And I'm here to talk about that. But first off, I want to start off with two things that are the most obvious things. The sweat. Everyone has been complaining about the sweat. Everyone has been memeing about the sweat. And I have to kind of agree, but I'm going to go into detail with that in a second. So here are two screenshots. One is I made sure to play with Zion for a while to make sure he sweated in NBA 2K20 to make sure there was no graphics comparison of one that wasn't sweating, the one that was sweating, okay? So on the left, it is NBA 2K20 with Zion Williamson sweating. On the right, it is the footage they showed us where Zion Williamson is literally drowning in water. Like, it is a ridiculous amount of sweat. Now, obviously, if you play a lot of basketball, yes, you're going to sweat like that, but everyone has been complaining. All this looks like is just extra sweat, and that's the only change that has been made. And I'm not going to lie to you, with this screenshot comparison, I kind of feel the same way. I actually feel 100% an agreement with everybody that's been complaining. When you really look at it from here, there really isn't a lot of changes, and I don't see anything that makes me go like, wow, this is an amazing change. But there's a couple things just with this shot alone that I'll talk about. So first off is the obvious sweat. You see on the left, it's a little bit of sweat. The light doesn't really reflect off it much. It's very matte and dark colored. There isn't a lot of shining off the face, while in the right, you see a ridiculous amount of shine, not only from the sweat, but from the skin itself. It is a ridiculous amount. And not only that, the sweat has its own, I think, polygons, because you can see the sweat drip down from Zion Williamson's nose and all the way down to the floor. So yes, the sweat is more detailed, but I think everyone's tired of talking about sweat so much that I think that this is what I believe. I believe that 2K is self-aware. I think they know that everybody hates it when they show all this sweat in every single new generation, that they were like, let's drown Zion Williamson and pour water all over him to make people just upset about it, but talk about it because they want to market the game. With this screenshot alone, or this screen capture, I see very little change. Obviously on the right it's 4K, on the right it's 1080p, and I guess the pores on the face of Zion on the right are a little better, and obviously the lighting is amazing because of the ray tracing, and the sweat is a little better, and I guess the eyelashes are a little more detailed. That's it. There really isn't that big of a change. Zion doesn't look better in my opinion. His face scan looks basically the same. I guess maybe the lips a little better, but we're talking about lips here. Overall, it doesn't look that great, but that doesn't mean the graphics are worse, because I'm going to show you everything else, and that's what I'm excited to talk about. But the other elephant in the room is that a lot of people are saying that this isn't even gameplay, this is just like a cinematic trailer, this is fake. So when I watched this trailer, I personally was like, yo, this doesn't look real. Like, this looks just like a pre-rendered. Yes, it's on the PS5, but they just rendered it. This isn't actual gameplay. I would say that, and I would feel that. But 2K has a track record. If you can look back, they have never, ever shown footage of the game that wasn't actual footage of the game. When they announce a game, they always show you the actual footage. You cannot find one time they didn't do that. I don't know why they would start now. They're known for it. It's a good track record. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because they've never failed me on that before. So I believe this is actual NBA 2K21 gameplay footage. Even if it's just camera angles and slow motions, it is actual gameplay. Okay, but now I'm going to go scene by scene. I did graphics comparison scene by scene, and I'm going to cover the differences, what I noticed, and is it any better or not. So here's the first scene of Zion Williamson dribbling and then dunking and doing his pretty signature LeBron James dunk. So overall, it's the lighting. I think that's the thing that we need to focus on the most. Obviously, he's sweating a lot, but we're going to ignore that from now on because we all agree that the sweating is ridiculous. The animation smoothness. So if you look at the hand on the left screen, you can see that the ball just kind of juggles around Zion Williamson's hand and doesn't really look, physics-wise, looks odd. On the right, though, you can see Zion Williamson actually looks like he grabs the ball doesn't glitch around in his hand, and he dunks it, and he actually makes contact with the rim, like he actually grabs the rim on the left. Zion never touches the rim once because it glitches. And then on the right, you also see that when he grabs the rim, it bends downward. On the left, Zion doesn't do that. And I checked in NBA 2K20, and the rims do not bend. So that's also a new thing. Bending rims, full contact on the rims, and also full contact on the balls, and better physics engine. At least it's what it's looking like so far. It does not look janky at all. That's what the first clip. I think this looks really great. The next one is just showing a close-up of Zion. More than anything, I think this is just showing us the fabric on the jerseys, which is a little better. I mean, if you're really looking at it, you can see like the little holes indicating like where the jerseys can breathe. Yes, they have it on 2K20, but you don't really see it as defined as you do on the right. Plus the lighting itself, look, it's shining off the jersey beautifully. So those are two things I noticed with that. Besides that, not many changes. On the right, the reason I'm pulling up the shoes is just showing you the amount of detail. This is more showing you how impressive the graphics are. Yes, there's sweat, and that's really it. But the lighting on the court looks amazing. The shoes on 2K20 actually don't look that realistic compared to right. I mean, even on the right, it's not that impressive, but at least it's a lot better. But you can even see, if you really pay attention, little details on the ball, like the little grip and ripples on it, which is impressive to me. The next shot is the net, which is actually, I'm surprised they even focused on the net. On the left, in NBA 2K20, the net is actually like paper. It's a 2D object in a 3D like space. They basically got a picture, turned it into a cone, and made that the net with a little bit of physics in it. Now you can see in 2K21, you actually see the detail on the net. It actually is a lot more realistic than I was expecting them to even go for. Yes, they both have physics, but obviously the one on the right looks so much better. The physics are so much more detailed. You can see that there's actually polygons on the net of the rim. It is very, very, very good. Now here is Zion going for a reverse layup. This actually doesn't show you anything graphically. What I want to talk about is the physics again. You can see that the ball glitches on the left side with Zion going for the reverse layup. On the right side, where it's NBA 2K21, there is no physics jank. Zion can grab the ball, go for the layup, and nothing's messing up. The ball's not jumping around or anything. It is cleaner. This is giving me the idea and assuming that they made a brand new physics engine for the game and game engine for the game. And hopefully that means that this isn't going to be so animation based and more physics based. That's a indicator. I'm not going to say that it's confirmed, but that's what it's kind of looking like so far, and that gives me a little bit of hope. On the left here is probably the most impressive shot in terms of graphics. If you look at this side by side, you can clearly see that the right is so much better. Just ignore the sweat. Zion's face looks better, the hair looks more detailed, the body's more defined, more accurate towards Zion. The animation is so much smoother, the way that the jersey moves is a lot more realistic. And then the lighting, the ray tracing that's coming off of his face is just ridiculous in the right. Like, it looks beautiful. I'm a big fan of that one. And then this one I kind of wanted to show the ray tracing again. Just look at the complete difference in animation blending. You see that when Zion's going for a crossover, you see his feet just kind of slide and kind of move around. On the right though, you see that Zion's feet don't slide around. It's more smooth, it's realistic, it's better, and I'm a big fan of that. As you can tell graphically, there is little changes. This is how I feel. In NBA 2K13 compared to NBA 2K14, the graphics changes were ridiculous. I don't feel that way with NBA 2K20, with NBA 2K21. It's better, it looks better, the lighting is amazing, and I think even the animations and moving, the physics of it is a lot better. But just looking at Zion's face, I didn't see a difference. That's the only thing. It's like they fixed everything besides the face. But here's the thing, we all talked about this before. 2K's, the faces look basically pretty accurate. It's everything else that didn't look good, at least graphically, and I feel like they actually focused on that and kind of listened to us for the first time in a while. But I think we can all agree, we don't care about the graphics anymore. I want this game to be good, and at least the only thing that I can tell from this is that the animations are blending together better, and maybe this isn't even animation based anymore and it's just physics based. Either way, that's a big plus, and I'm excited to see that happen, and that's a positive towards gameplay, and that's what I care about. I'm excited about this. It looks sick. Also, two things to add. Zion Williamson now is the cover athlete for NBA 2K21, which is a big... I'll talk about that in another video. I'll give some reasons why I think other people probably deserved it. And then the other thing is that they've been working on NBA 2K21 at home. They were kind of giving like an interview before they released the footage, and one of the developers was basically like, yeah, we've been working on this at home because we haven't been able to work on it in an office together. So that kind of worried me a little bit, because that just makes me, it sounds like they're saying we couldn't work on it as hard as we wanted to, but we're trying, which, I mean, I give, it's not their fault that this happened, but it is a little sketch. It means that the game might not be as good as we're kind of hoping for, but I think it's going to be good. I haven't seen anything so far that makes me go, with the little that we've seen, obviously. But okay, that's all I have to say about this topic. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like this channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.